Hello, Goldma fam. Welcome to Goldma End of Year podcast. We're so excited to be here today. As you can see, we're all in our Goldma t-shirts, and we're just going to be reflecting, what we've gone throughout the year, our milestones, our ups and downs, challenges, how we overcame them. So I want to start by how the project began. And the project began with the team coming together, right? I think of all of us here on the panel, I came after Linda. Yeah. So we're each gonna have just give just a summarized, version of our experience when we joined the team. Okay, so for me personally, I had no idea what I was doing. I had a lot to learn. I was very nervous because I was entering into a very new space that's pretty much foreign to me. So, but I did know that I liked the concept. I had a grasp of the overall concept and I liked it. So I was pretty much excited about that and willing to learn. So when I joined the very first time, I was just soaking up as much information as I could. And until now, I'm still doing the same. That was my experience.
For me, I can't say it was basic. It was like new. My first love was gold. I got in this because of gold. So like when Mr. Jenkins, our CEO, offered, because firstly, he liked the fact that I was in IT to even begin with, right? Then so that whole combination where I'm already in IT and I love gold, it was just perfect for me. So one thing, one word that made me calm that came from him is, don't worry about crypto. I don't think there's a crypto professional right now because it's new. So we can't have to say, no, this guy's experienced in cryptocurrency. Fairly, yes, but you can be experienced in the economics because economics has been there since way back when. But crypto, we can call it new. Mm-hmm. So don't worry, you're going to be the professionals.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, let's see. And whoa, we learned a lot since then, man.
Yeah.
Like the trips to the mine, Telegram group, all those people. I mean, yo, I don't mean any offense to anybody. There's some really nice people out there, really, really nice people. Mm-hmm. And there are bad people out there. Mm-hmm. Man, people would say really mean things. They had to ban people in Telegram because,
right.
people would say things, post things, but it's all in the experience, mm-hmm. Since we opened, we started airdrop, bounty, just that whole journey just made me a better person. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And now that we're here, we've distributed the last part of our tokens to people, and we're actually going to move on to the CIP plans and all. Like when we started, it was, I couldn't see what Henry Jenkins saw, the vision, but now it's all falling into place. And I would say, you know what? I'm looking forward to 2019.
That's right.
I'm really looking forward to it right now.
Mr. Rubin.
Yeah. Well, it was an interesting experience for me because I joined a little bit later than everyone else, but I came in and very new, as Eddie said. I have some sort of academic training in economics and things like that, and just out of personal interest, I follow financial markets, right. Central banks, the thinking behind that, like really questioning the role of money in our society, and should we continue to have the same monetary system? So in a way, cryptocurrency was, could I say, a solution to a problem that I'd known of. I mean, criticisms were made against central banks for a long time,
right.
And people had different ideas about how to resolve that.
Yeah.
So cryptocurrency came to be an alternative sort of solution to the problem that some people were saying we had. But anyway, coming to Goldma, the very first day was interesting because one of our advisors, Gio, had flown into the country.
Right.
And it was a Saturday and we had to drive to the mine. And I remember coming in, I think we came back to it quite late, around 8 or 9. Yeah, that was that Saturday. So it was interesting. But starting on with the work, Telegram, as you were saying, it's a very active space, reflective of the world. I mean, you have wonderful characters and not so wonderful characters, but that's the real world, so to speak. But it's been fun. It's been fun learning so many different things, and I'm not so much of a technical in terms of the mining side of things.
Yeah.
I knew of gold in the financial markets, really, not in the production of it. I wasn't really well aware of that, but it was good to see one way we could sort of answer this question of money in the 21st century. Right. So here we are, we talk of gold-backed currencies.
Yeah.
Here's a gold-backed cryptocurrency, and hey, here's where the gold is coming from. Here's an actual mine. So it was an interesting experience. It's like a complete value chain, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. I like how we're reflecting back, and I'm just thinking, wow, we've come so far already, even though it's only been a year. Okay, now we move on to Mr. Vaughn. That's the guy behind the camera. Most of the time you don't see him, but he's always behind the lens. He's the one responsible for all of this. Yeah. Can you tell us from behind the camera, Mr. Vaughn, what's your experience? How have you gelled into the Goldma team?
He's going to have to shout really loud. Yeah. Or he's going to come in.
Don't worry, you guys. Okay, this is going to be... Whose mic can I get? Okay, I'm going to use your mic.
There we go.
Right. Coming to Goldma, it was a really, really, really good thing that I found myself here, joining the family and the way we work. I mean, everything is just so interesting, right? Being the man behind the camera and trying to make sure that everything is working good. I really love it here, and I'm also getting into crypto.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be sitting somewhere around there. One of those good days.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
Thank
soon
you
enough.
I like the glasses. 4 cents.
Yeah.
There's about 6 eyes, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we started our ICO with the pre-private sale, the private sale, the pre-ICO, the ICO. So we went through stages, and in each stage we also met obstacles. We had partnerships that we had announced to you guys that we unfortunately had to dissolve for, reasons best known to us at the moment. But that was something that was a setback. It was a challenge, as far as going ahead with the ICO. But we didn't give up. We didn't lose heart. We kept going. We also went on the roadshow. We had Goldma represented in Lisbon, in China, in Russia, in New York, all those countries. So that's also something that was exciting. We got to expand our communities and get our brand known to different areas, different continents, if I may say so. And that was also exciting, being able to do that. Now, the part that we got busy the most was probably when the Telegram group grew, right? Yeah. When there were now like thousands of people on there. You guys are the ones that are constantly manning Telegram. How is that for you, having to, attend to people that need a swift response at odd hours of the night, since they're different time zones and,
Yeah. So, how we first started, we had the same shifts. Remember, we used to come in the morning, then knock off at the same time, that 9 to 5 time. Mm-hmm. So when we got to about 10K members in the group, then it got real.
Yeah,
it really got real, and so we had to, we had to shift, and I do the graveyard shift, when everybody's asleep. But then, which means across the world, everybody's awake, and like I said, they're different characters on Telegram. They're awesome guys. I'll mention a name right now. I'll mention Addy. Addy's cool. A lot of characters that are cool, but at the same time, man, there's some really hard people out there that really made life difficult. It's like, but really, come on, cut some slack here. Did you have to post that? So there's sometimes where you couldn't take your eyes off the screen because someone would just post something, you're like, oh my God, really? I mean, there's some serious investors in this group. Like, people will put some serious money, millions into it. And you post something. So if you put an investment in there and someone posts something, you open the phone, you say, oh my, what is that? So it was really interesting to have those many people. But, you know, we had to, you know, clean up house the moment someone does this and that. You know, we had to whoop up the wand and, you know, you had to go like that. But it became easier. It became a community, you know. Now,
absolutely,
we know most of them by name. Some of them have come to Zim. We've had trips to the mine. You know, some couldn't, but they would ask for pictures and whatnot. We'll be helping each other out. So it actually became a family. Well, some people didn't want to be in the community, and that's fine. You know, you can invest and be elsewhere. But some people genuinely, actually most, genuinely enjoy the updates. You know, and I would like to think the moment someone sends something on Telegram, the response time is quite on point, if I'm not mistaken, since we have so many people on shift on Telegram. It's been working well. So I would like to actually thank most of the guys who are on Telegram for building this great community for us, because we couldn't do it ourselves. So,
Mr. Ruben, how did you handle people that were challenging in terms of how they address you or their language or just being difficult?
Yeah, that's always a challenge. And, you know, I suppose one has to be responsible in terms of maintaining being calm and so forth. Because it's very easy to for a situation to escalate and have a big shouting match. But the other thing we have to remember is that of the people who might have been offensive, I'd like to imagine there are probably 10 times as many people who may not be saying something, but who are really looking forward to this project succeeding. So I always try to remember those people, and that you can be easily drawn into a reaction by a tiny vocal minority.
That's right.
When there is a silent majority that's actually looking forward to and has a positive outlook on whatever it is that you're doing. So I tried to engage respectfully. I tried to answer whatever questions are there. And sometimes when someone is rude, some people are like they have malicious intent, but at other times it comes from a place of frustration. Frustration perhaps not necessarily with us, but it's frustration that comes from a previous experience.
That's right.
So, in all human relationships, sometimes you're paying, you're in it for sins that you didn't commit.
We'll be painted with the same brush.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
true.
Yeah. So that's someone had a negative experience with another ICO or whatever, and then they're projecting that negative experience onto us. So I tried to be cognizant of that and engaged respectfully with people, even if they didn't engage with respect.
And another thing that I noticed was just a language barrier. Because some people are translating, they have to use Google Translator or whatever, and they may address to you in a manner that may seem rude, but they genuinely don't know. Because, according to our different contexts, we have different interpretations of what's rude and what's not.
Yeah. I used to live in Canada. It's a funny story. I went to the carnival in Toronto, and Canadians have a specific, their own sort of national culture, if you will. And an American walked into the store, and it was a fast food restaurant that I was in, and they sounded completely different. Now, these are sort of bordering countries, both English-speaking countries, but you can already tell that their approach is a little bit different, because I think someone who comes from New York or someone who comes from another part of America behaves a little bit differently to someone who's in Canada, who's in Toronto. I mean, Toronto's a big city, New York's a big city, but they feel different. So, that's why I like to look for the sort of best in people, because I don't know your intention or right of hand. You might just be behaving the way you behave. It doesn't necessarily mean that you come to cause, like you come with malicious intent.
That's true. That's true. So I had to learn that really fast. Like, you get people that say, do this, give me this. And you're like, you can't even say please, but perhaps in their language, they're doing a direct translation. So maybe there's no please.
And Google Translate's not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good software. It gets things done. We understand each other, but it's not exactly perfect.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went through the ICO phase, adding Telegram, checking that we're going through the various stages, promoting it. I remember we were active on Bitcoin Talk, on Facebook, we were writing articles, we were doing videos. How was that experience for you guys? Just being able to do all those things, being able to be in front of the lens, talking to people. Because obviously you guys were attending to people on Telegram, and now they can put the face to the name and be like, oh, so that's Ruben. Oh, so that's Eddie.
Yeah, you know what? It actually made me better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't so strong in writing articles, but you know what? When we started writing articles, it actually made me know crypto more than if I didn't write articles, because you know why? You had to do your research. Let's say there's a topic that I'm writing about. I can't just go basic or just, off the top of my head. You had to research facts, candlestick, what you call them, graphs, this and that, to put into your articles. So me writing an article actually made me better in knowing my crypto. And the fact that I would write an article, get reviews, and it made me feel better about myself.
Right.
Then the fact that I could go on camera, speak on it, people watching me, and for me that was just awesome. I'm like, you know what, I'm doing what I love, and it's just going in a way that I just love. It's just going whoop, up, and someone posts something on Telegram. I'm like, come on, man! But you can steal it. You can steal it for me, but. Yeah, it was great for me. It improved me as a person, even the confidence level. I think if someone was following our videos from day one, you could tell that we're getting better and better. This is like the life of Eddie, Ruben, and Yari. It's like you're watching what are those Lifetime series where you watch them growing as time goes on. And I think even after the ICO, as you can see, we are still going to be releasing videos and the like, I'm going to have fans. It's going to be so nice, I have to say.
Okay, for me, I think just how our videos grew from being, an experiment to having all the equipment, thanks to Mr. Vaughn, is amazing for me. Because when we started, I remember we had these long mics, and Vaughn once joked and said they looked like fishing rods in our faces. But that's how we started, and that didn't keep us from growing and wanting to improve. And most of the stuff is DIY, like how we had to have certain things, get our sound in order. And we're still not even, our vision is much, much bigger than where we are right now. But we are happy that we're growing steadily and surely. And that's something that's exciting for me.
Yeah, I mean, just coming back to the writing, for me, I had to keep in mind that we're here to serve other people, in the sense that what we're offering is a solution. It's a real fundamental question about what you do with your savings, how do you do investment. We're opening up a sector that hasn't been open to retail investors, because really it's very, very difficult to invest in gold production. Also very difficult to invest in gold, period, if you don't have a lot of money. So this was a new way of doing things. And just keeping that in mind, if I'm going to tell someone something, I have to have read quite a bit.
Right.
And to Eddie's point, the best way to learn something is to teach it. Because when you have to get up and speak, which is an article is essentially you standing up to speak. So if you're going to do that, you have to learn. You have to be sure, of what you're talking about. Right. So that was sort of a great experience for me, because I was learning as I was trying to teach as well.
That's right.
And then the other stuff, like the videos that we do, again, for me, it was another avenue through which we could be of service.
Yeah.
Because we all take in information differently.
That's true.
some people like to read. I mean, I like to read a lot. But I appreciate that not everyone wants to do that. So some people can take in information in video.
That's true.
And audio much better than reading. So again, this is more literally, well, not standing up, but sitting down to speak. But the same process still applies. We have to sort of read before we record anything so that we're confident about what it is we're saying. Because at the heart of it is we're producing value for people. So we have to be sure.
Yeah. I like what you said about providing value, because most people wonder, well, why do you guys have to appear on video? Like, why do you have to tell us those updates? Can't you just send it on Telegram? There are different forms of providing value for people. Just like what you said, that I might not necessarily want to read every day and, you know, find out what you're going to be saying today on Medium. But if it's a 5-minute video, 10-minute, 15-minute video, then perhaps I'm willing to listen to it. And, you know, so that was one avenue that we had to. And also, I think it also puts them, like, to build the trust. Because, you know, according to even online marketers, when you look at how consumers online behave, they trust people they can see. There has to be an element of tangibility, you know, something to actually see, oh, there are people that work for this company that exist. You know, it's not a bot. It's not, you know, one person impersonating 5 people pretending to be a company. So I think that also helped people to see there's actually an operating, you know, mind. There's actually staff there. Okay, where's Goldma? Okay, there they are. That's their offices. That's them talking. Oh, that's the guy I usually talk to on Telegram.
Yep.
So that helps a lot to build the trust. Because it's very difficult. Imagine having to invest in a business that you haven't seen, you've never met the person, you don't know them, and you're halfway across the world. It's very difficult to build that trust. So I think that's one thing that I like that we managed to achieve with these videos. Like, hey, we're not running. We're right here. You want to see the mine? Welcome. Come to the mine. We're inviting you. Come see the mine. We can take you to the mine. You want to come to our offices? Come to our offices. We'll tell you what we do. We'll tell you our vision and what we're planning to do. Especially this upcoming 2019 is going to be fireworks in terms of what we want to do. So that was one thing that we were able to achieve, you know, by showing our faces through videos and everybody being able to see us. And then now we've concluded the ICO, concluded the KYC process, and paid out the tokens, we want to move on to what happened over at the mine. Because I'm sure a lot of people have heard us talking about this constantly, that it started off as just a bush. Yeah. And it grew over time. It was operating at a small scale. And then it was recently upgraded in 2018 into what people would call a medium scale mining operation. So here are the things that we managed to get first. First of all, we conducted an exploration. We did diamond drilling and had our matter tested at the lab. And we were using the mining consultation company called Minxcon from South Africa. Very big company, very good company, very reliable. You guys can look for them online if you need to verify or find out anything further. And we were able to estimate exactly how much gold there is to extract and process. So that was the first stage. So in order for us to maximize on that, we couldn't do it with the current machinery that we had. Like, we needed to increase our capacity, our production capacity. And that took getting a new ball mill, getting, conveyor belts, getting new bins, getting excavators, get all sorts of equipment, getting separators, so many things that we had to do. There was no electricity at the time, but now we have electricity as well. And there is a humongous generator. And I hear that when the CIP plant comes, we're actually going to need to upgrade from that. So we're going to need a lot. So after the diamond drilling phase and a consultation with Minxcon, we upgraded the plant to a new one. Also, we are people that are very conscious about preserving our environment. So we did something with water. Does anyone remember what we did with our water system?
It goes back to the leaching tanks.
Yeah.
Pump it again.
Yeah. So basically redistributing the water. The area, if you've noticed, I'm sure you guys have seen, has just a lot of water. Like it's an area that even during droughts, whatever, there's just a lot of water. Yeah. So even in some shafts, it's when they dig deep enough, there's just water in there and they have to pump it out. Mm-hmm. So they decided to reuse that water, that instead of just letting it run and, and redirect it so that it can be used towards useful things.
Yeah.
So I really like that. And also, apart from our water system and managing our ecosystem, I did talk about the generator, electricity, and also the grading of roads. Because I know we don't have tarred roads that go directly to the mining site at the moment, but there is a graded road where you can actually drive to, because before that it was pure bush. It's like you're just driving into, I don't know, some crazy Amazon layer and you're driving in there, So that's also something that helped transportation easy. It's still a bit challenging to drive certain cars to the mine, but with a good
you need a 4-wheel drive to get there.
Absolutely.
Truck. Yeah. But those things come with sort of greenfield sites, right? Like we've talked about this before, that this country is not, how can I put it? It's underexplored.
Yeah.
So as we are increasing our mining output and increasing exploration, we're going to come up with a situation that, like what Goldma did. Mm-hmm. You do your tests, you do all the things that you need to do, the geological surveys and whatnot, and you find a site where there's a lot of gold. Yeah. And you have to invest in making all of that happen. So that means roads, power, there's no ready-made infrastructure that's there for you. Have to develop it. Yeah. Yourself. So that's what Goldma did, and then now it's there. Now we're at the level where we have the foundation upon which we can expand.
That's true.
Basically.
And obviously, I think the more profitable the project becomes, the more infrastructure we'll be able to develop, because it doesn't only benefit us, but the community as well, like the people that surround.
If you look at it like this, it's actually going well, because it wasn't like that before. If you go to the beginning when it was just bush, then a tiny road was put there. Now there's a wider road, though it's still gravel. Then we now have a little community around us. Now we're fixing the clinic, we're fixing the school, we're doing this. So it's all happening in the right stages, and also in accordance to how much we're making at the mine. Yeah. So given that we're a small scale mine and we're doing all that for that area, then we moved on to a medium scale mine. We also upgraded. Now that we put in CIP plant and all, we're still going to upgrade. So it's just going to go with that corporate social responsibility aspect. Right. And the more we develop, which means the more the production, which means the more trucks that are coming through, then we have to fix the road. We have to do this. So it's natural order that the more we make, the more the community grows.
The other thing that excited me, like when I got to the mine, is how they've managed to make it a little home away from home in terms of the staff. You get there, they have like their kitchen area where, because they have power, they're able to get a refrigerator there, so you can get cool refreshments. And also there's livestock that they can eat. They make nice meals. They have a huge piece of land where they farm as well, and they grow different crops, maize specifically, and then also other grains. And then when you get there, there's a little gazebo, and then there's staff accommodation. And Wi-Fi. You know, internet is just a basic need for anyone nowadays. Like, that is the way to be connected, to know what's happening in the world. So being able to have that when you should be off the grid, because you're literally in the middle of nowhere, almost. So to have internet there, and you have electricity there, you have water supply, you have accommodation, it's just exciting. It makes it habitable. So even any one of us can go to the mine and be like, you know what, I'm going to spend the night at the mine, or I'm going to spend the day at the mine, because, you know, all the amenities are available. And that was exciting. Yep. And I know someone enjoyed having those chickens the last time we had. It must have been Vaughn.
Yeah, that's true. He loves that chicken.
Yeah. So that was very, very exciting, seeing it develop into not only in terms of the operation, but having accommodation and creating a conducive environment for the staff so that they're able to work, you know, in peace. So that was great. And then now, also, the CIP plant. I think we've been talking about it, and I'm sure people are like, what are you guys talking about? But it's also part of our future plans, our near future. Yeah. Like I'm talking like tomorrow type of near. Like, that's how near it is. And that's something that we've recently started as we conclude 2018 as a company. So I would say it's been a great year for us, guys. I don't know what you guys
think. It's been a great year.
We've been... Anything that you'd like to say to the guys, like any message that you'd like to say to Goldma fam, like, hey, guys, as far as 2019 is concerned, expect to see this. Anything you want to mention?
Okay, I'll start by saying everybody should have a great Christmas. Enjoy Christmas with your families, your friends, your relatives. You know, look forward to 2019. I think as we have concluded our ICO stage, I think now let's take a more positive approach into seeing Goldma through. You know, engage us, ask for updates to say, okay, guys, what's going on at the mine? We are there. Give us work. Come on, guys. Send messages on Telegram. Ask us what's going on at the mine. We'll help you out. There have been messages on Telegram, people scrutinizing, I need to see this from your mind, I need to see this from your mind. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, what I would recommend for you guys, you know, like what we mentioned with articles, where for us, in order for us to write articles, we had to do a little bit of research. Because I couldn't just, you know, put something out there without the right facts. Mm-hmm. Go through our white paper, look through it, you know, go through our videos, anything to do with the mine, you know. So when we mentioned that Minscon, that consulting company, came through, did diamond drilling and this and that, right? Mm-hmm. Look it up.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a number online for Minscon, call them and say, do you know a company called such and such?
Yeah.
Did you really do diamond drill, this and that? Yeah. And do they really have so and so on? Then check for yourself. That's why we had to use independent companies. So as we move forward in 2019, let's engage each other in a way that it will actually bring productivity to the mind. Because we are now past that phase where they're like, this is a scam coin, this is what we've proved that we're there, we've proved that we're real. Now let's concentrate on making money for everybody who's involved in this project. Let's make that money. Ask us, bring ideas on the group, Telegram, even Twitter, anyway.
Yeah.
Give ideas to say, guys, I think you should do this. And
exactly. We're very open to that.
We're very open to that. Then us as a team will say, you know what, that's a great idea. We're going to do it. Or this in this region we are right now, it doesn't work because of so and so on. Then, you know, we quickly think of something new to do. Yeah. So what I wanted to say for 2019 for everyone is engage us. You know, follow us on Telegram and make sure you put your input, because you've invested in this, right? Mm-hmm. Make sure we go through. If you think that we're slacking and we're not putting more content out, say, hey guys, we need daily updates. I need an update about this, about that. That's what we're here for. We're going to do that for you. So 2019, engage us. That's what I have to say for that.
That's right. I also just want to address those that are concerned about the value of the token and how we should list on big exchanges and how we should, they're worried about the trade volumes on the platforms that we've listed so far, and people that are saying, you guys are sabotaging us. That we're not sabotaging you. You shouldn't have to worry about the value of the token much longer, because as we had said, our value lies in the asset that is backing your token. So because it is a security token, there's no need to worry about, market prices or what price are you going to put it at, and let's drive it to this price. There's so many things. And in the end, I know it doesn't make sense now, but you will thank us. And because we're a security token, like I said, our value is tied to the asset. So you can expect your value from the ether that you're going to be receiving when you get your royalties. So if you're thinking of trading, perhaps you might want to trade that and hold on to your GMA tokens, because I can't imagine, giving away the goose that lays the golden eggs as opposed to selling the golden eggs themselves, and then you keep the goose. So for those of you that are frustrated right now, I would urge you to be patient and allow the project to flourish, because it will. Yeah. Because gold is guaranteed to make money. I've never heard of any country, any firm, or anywhere where they say, gold is outdated. We're not taking gold anymore. Why don't you try giving us something else? I've never heard of this. Gold is constant, basically. So we did pick a reliable product to back this token. So please give us a chance to do so. So what we'll be doing is we'll be emphasizing mostly on the productivity of the mine, because that is what will ultimately determine the value of your token. Our production, that's what it's based upon. It's not physical gold that backs the token. It's the production of the gold. The more we produce, the higher the royalties for you. So that's how you benefit. And you can imagine what that will do once people find out that, there are people receiving royalties, especially the first royalty payment. And so please be patient and please bear with us. Like we had said this from the beginning, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The terrible thing about get-rich-quick scheme where they take tokens and it becomes a pump-and-dump situation is it fizzles out just like that. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're thinking long-term. And long-term, you will definitely enjoy the benefits of being a GMA token holder.
Wealth creation. And I like the example you used. Don't sell the golden goose, sell the egg. A great example would be Goldma selling the mine instead of selling the gold that we're producing.
Exactly.
People want to sell the mine and move on instead of holding on to the mine and
produce the gold.
Selling and trading in that gold. That's exactly that example.
Yeah.
That's a great example you just put out there. Security token, asset.
True.
It.
Yeah. So we're not really worried about commodifying our token. Let's keep it as a security, just the way it is. Any final words, Mr. Rubin?
Yep. Want people to enjoy themselves over the holidays.
Okay.
Definitely they're coming up. I think there's sort of just chiming in on what both of you have just said, there's a lot to look forward to in 2019. I think when the CIP plant, I know we keep on repeating that, but when it comes in, I think it's very difficult to sort of emphasize in words alone. I'd have to go technical in numbers, and I don't think we want to get into that right now. But they expect a significant increase in the productivity, and I mean the amount of gold we'll actually get per, ton of ore, if I can express it that way.
That's right.
The mine is going to be more efficient. More efficient means more gold, which means more revenue, more net income, more royalties.
Yeah.
Because I want to come back to the reason why why the whole thing exists, and it's to provide value for people, because this token is meant to be an alternative. Because there's a whole lot of things that you can do right now to pick stocks in a company? Do you buy? Do you buy corporate bonds? Do you buy, what do you do? We want to come up with an alternative to sort of say, okay, the financial system that existed before, here are the barriers.
Yeah.
Here are the people who can come in because it's a closed society. And then here's our open alternative.
Right.
A lot of people, it's a more democratic system. A lot more people can come in to play, as it were.
That's right.
And the people who have come in. And 2019 is the year that, people out there are going to be getting the returns that they're expecting. So I'm looking forward to that. And I hope that a lot of people out there are also expectant and looking forward to what 2019 will bring.
That's right. Well, thank you. I think that concludes our end of year podcast for now. We'll still be available online. If you guys have any questions, you can still direct them to our Telegram group or put it in the comment section below. Contact us as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you feel you are open to approaching us. We will be there to respond to you in a timely manner. And this has been fun. Thank you so much for every single person that's been watching our videos and supporting our videos. We see you. And lastly, I just want to say that have a very, very wonderful holiday. And looking forward to 2019. We'll be giving you updates and everything that we're going to be planning for 2019. We're going to compile it together and tell you our vision so you can see what we're seeing. And perhaps, that may relax a few people once you know exactly where we're headed in terms of this project. So until next time or next year, bye-bye.